After putting on a few more braces, it'll be time to build a roof. I didn't want to buy plastic or metal. I wanted to build the entire building from wood I'd milled for my own property. I had a couple of ideas for making a waterproof roof out of wood. The first one was much too labor intensive. I don't have the tools for that. The second idea was a little more practical. Boards and battens with grooves routed down the edges of the boards and covered with the battens. In theory, that looked pretty good. First, I put up a couple of rafters to tie the front beam to the back beam and to support a single purlin the length of the sawmill shed, so the roof span would be no more than 4 feet. Made a typical old man screw up. I don't know why I'm saying old man, I've been doing it all my life. I measured the distance between the back beam and the front beam on the angle and cut exactly that length between the face of that beam and the face of this beam, but I wanted it back here. Got it about 4 inches too short. I didn't need 91 inches. I need 95 inches. Essentially a wasted, nice, long, straight board. Not really wasted, I'll find someplace else for it, but damn it. Damn it. Both this beam and that beam are bowed that direction a little bit. So if I brace from back there, so I can put a nailer up here, just like that one, and use that board. I'll figure out the bracing later. Okay, good. I feel better. I can use this board. I have so few really nice ones, like 3, till I cut more trees. The difficulty of bracing the back wall is the steep drop-off of the slope. First, I started a nail in a sway brace, released the temporary brace, and got a long one. The problem is the angle's so steep it wouldn't hold against the post when I tried to pull it down to push the post inward. I tried a couple of times. It didn't work, so I had to put a nail in the post and then pull the board down and slip it under the nail. Okay, I got it. And the bottom of the board did not kick out. But that brace is too limber, it won't stay straight. The solution, brace the brace with another brace. Now, all that work didn't pick up much difference in the back beam, but every little bit helps. Now that the sway brace is nailed up, I can release my temporary brace, and the wall springs back almost to where it was in the beginning. Progress for today? Not much. 3 uneven rafter supports. Well, they're going to be purlin supports. Couple angle braces. Siding was much more satisfying. I could see progress. So every now and then, I'd stop to put up siding. Also, the piles of various boards are getting in the way. Putting up siding reduces some of those piles. We didn't get a lot of wood out of the woods yesterday, but I'll cut up what we have before going back for more. And now that everything is reasonably dry, I do not want to get it wet again, hosing dirt off of logs. So I'm going to see if peeling off a strip where the first cut goes in will be not too difficult. When the saw blade cuts through dirt going into the log, it gets dull very fast. It doesn't matter so much if it's dirty on the side the blade is exiting. Well, that was easy. This log is too small to make structural members, so I'm cutting it into 1/2-inch siding. I want to get these logs out of the way before I bring in more. Finished for the day. Trim that siding off at the bottom after it's all up. Trim the bottom of this one too, straight across. Got a good part of the 8-footers on that back wall. I have to double up those because there's going to be shelves on here and I don't want rain blowing through. Got about half as much done as I expected, but I'm not on a deadline, other than the one dictated by age and mortality, but I'm not worried about that. What I've done today is cut up another of the 3 logs I brought down from that tree yesterday. This was the biggest one. It is now 3/4 inch by 12 foot by whatever that is there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 roof boards out of that. What I'm going to do now is route a groove down the edge of each side, 1/4 inch deep, about a 1/2 inch in, 3/8 in, something like that. And the battens will cover those grooves, but any water that migrates towards the edge of the board will get trapped there. And if my plan works, there will be no water coming in here. We'll see. Routing grooves in those boards was slow and tedious. Well, that works pretty well. Got to clean it out though, but it's not too difficult. Okay, there's two. My back suggested I'd be happier doing this standing up than bent over. What we've got left to do, aside from siding, which I do when I get around to it, got to complete that purlin up there between the front and the back beams. It's made of regular boards. Doesn't matter as long as the top edge is even with the top edge of the front and back beam. I'll get the rest of the boards I need to finish the purlin out of this remaining log here. Going to resaw those to see what we can get. And before the day is out, we will have some roofing boards on. Start right here over the sawmill. As soon as I get enough roof up there to keep the rain off, I can stop wrapping it with a tarp every day. And what we'll do first is use the rattiest one, to complete this one. Notice the penalty you pay for not using even wood, but that's okay. What matters is, what does the top look like after you run a string? 80 inches. I'm not going to take the 80 inches out of the end. Got all this irregularity on this side anyway. To here, and we got this big knot. So if we come back to here, come down 80 inches. It'll also get rid of this big knot and this flared thick section. My supervisor comes out to inspect progress to make sure I haven't fallen and broken my neck. And she brought me a beer. Lots of nails in this project. Spoiler alert, you may be noticing what I am not. I don't have my string to check the level of the top of the purlin at this end of the shed. I've got this little gap. The question is, do I care? It looks a little ugly, but this whole damn building looks ugly. No structural value. I think we're done. I think it's time to put on some roof. I know this is approximately 28 feet. Measure in 14 feet from each end. Split the difference either way, and that'll be my center. 14 feet. Well, where in the hell my pencil lead go? There it is. Would you look at that? We are 3/16 off of exactly 28 inches. So there's 14 there, 14 there. Center, a front beam right there, 14 and 3/32. Why do you ask, do I care about 3/32? I don't. Now we go to the back wall and do the same thing. You may be appalled, depending on your approach to construction and life in general, you might be appalled at my casual approach to such things, lack of planning, that sort of thing. I'm pretty much a make it up as you go along kind of guy. Always have been. It's why my life is taken many directions and no direction. But every day is full of surprises, and that's kind of fun. If you want to see someone build something in a more exacting manner, you want to see somebody whose approach is exactly the opposite from mine. That is, someone who plans carefully, follows his plan, builds meticulously and precisely, and does truly beautiful construction work. Check out Lumberjack. There's two words, Lumberjack. Just do the search on Google, or I mean on YouTube, and you'll find it. Probably would on Google for that matter. They're all the same damn outfit. That guy is meticulous, as are many of my friends. I have one friend who's been following my exploits here with the sawmill and other projects. Asks me questions a lot. Are you going to do this? What's your plan for that? How are you going to put this part together? And I just got to tell him, I don't know. I haven't got there yet. I'll figure it out when I get there. And that's the way I do it. That's why you have a purlin that looks like it was scabbed together with scraps, which I guess it was. I mean, it's a sawmill shed. It's not a china cabinet. It's not a jewelry case. All it has to do is keep wind and rain pretty much out of my sawmill. Now, I do follow plans on some things. If you've watched my dory story videos, the boat has to float. sawmill shed does not have to float. Would be nice if it was in general waterproof, but it's not worth agonizing over every little drop of rain that might come in. Okay, now I'm ready to throw some boards up here and see what happens. These 8 boards are all I have milled and routed. These grooves will be covered by the battens. Water should run down the boards, but if any creeps up toward the edge under the batten, this groove should carry it off. The battens will have to cover these to keep leaves from plugging them up. I have seriously considered drying these boards, treating them with some sort of water sealer, but that requires time, patience on my part, money spent for the sealer, and no, I don't think so. Now, I checked all this with a string. How come that board? I guess I checked the other end with a string. I didn't check this end. That is low, low, low. Huh. Well, I guess I'm going to have to put something on top of that. It looks like it's going to be 1.25 inches, 1.5 inches. I don't need to run a string. I can just eyeball that. So I had to select boards of varying thickness, strips of wood, to nail on top of the purlin so that the roof would be reasonably straight. I did not think to route those with the bark side up so they will cup and form a channel down the middle, but that's what the grooves in the side are for. Oh boy, which one is curved? They both are in opposite directions, which means I should probably turn this one around. Turn this around and see what it looks like. That's a lot better fit. The reason for one nail only is these boards are going to shrink. The battens will also get one nail between these boards, not through them. I have almost 7/8 of an inch difference. Those ends are wider. So I've been using the draw knife the last couple of boards to shave the ends to close up this gap and move that side over a little bit. Should have started that in the beginning. I should have measured these things in the beginning instead of assuming they were even. I will pay more attention to the next ones. The two boards on the ends, that one down there, that one over here, are flawed. I would just soon have them outside the building footprint. So if they drip, they'll drip on the ground, outside and not inside. Okay, one more nail. Dropped one on the ground here somewhere. I hate dropping nails on the ground. But after this project is done, I'll come out with a metal detector and a magnet. The last nail of the day. I think from now on, before I cut the grooves, I will check board width, both ends, and flip half of them over so I get wide in, narrow, wide, narrow, wide, narrow, instead of wide, 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 and narrow, 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 narrow. Okay, I'm done. Thanks for watching. Good thing I'm not building a sailboat right now.